Hello, everyone. Welcome to me and Cooking with Pride. My name is Bryan Rodriguez. And, well, this is going to be a big mistake. We're going to be cooking steaks and proteins and mushrooms and potatoes and asparagus, and it's just going to be a steak night. And I'm going to be cooking with two fabulous drag queens. You know them well from our drag brunch. They're our hostesses, Jackie Layshun and Alpha Andromeda. And you probably know them from other local venues when we used to be able to meet in person. So without further ado, let's welcome Jackie Layshun and let's welcome Alpha Andromeda.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, gorgeous. How are you two?
You know what? I'm surviving. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I can kill a man right now. Or just Alpha.
Yeah, I'll welcome it at this point.
How are you doing, Bryan?
I'm hanging in there. Like, I didn't realize how social I am. You know, like that's one of the things I didn't realize about this quarantine is that I'm social. I'm a little bit more extroverted than I thought I was. I'm not like a huge extrovert. And I really miss just being able to go out and hang out with 200 people at drag brunch, you know, and make 50 new best friends and hug 50 different people. And, you know, like I miss that. And I used to like take that for granted. So I don't know. I just can't wait until we get vaccinated and hopefully we can have a normal Thanksgiving with our families and people that we don't live with. And, but I'm good. I'm good. I mean, I'm good. I can't complain, but it's hard, right? Like just kind of like you said, it's hard. How about you, Alpha?
Oh, you can't complain? I can complain all the time. It's what I do best. Bitch. I'm complaining about this lighting. I'm complaining about Jackie's wig. It's...
You know, it's been almost a year since we've been able to get together in person. Like, we're what, 2 months away? Less than 2 months away from it being a year. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
I mean, that last drag brunch in March, though, that was... And
awesome.
we're going to do that again once we come back.
Oh, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be big. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're gonna need antibiotics, but not because of COVID or pneumonia. We're gonna need antibiotics for a different reason. Just saying.
Well,
probably Layshun, absolutely. No, I'm really excited to cook with you guys tonight. This is gonna be super fun because Jackie, I mean, we're good Judies, but we don't really like cook a lot together. When we hang out, we usually just like order a pizza and drink a shitload.
That's really what we did after brunch every month back in the day.
Oh gosh, go to Max or go to someone's house and drink some more.
Exactly. We're really good with a liquid diet.
There we go.
The girl's got to keep her figure. Exactly. So we talked about maybe doing a cocktail before we got started. And I thought a quick and easy cocktail would be a Manhattan. So I picked my favorite whiskey, which I like Crown Royal. It's a rye, Canadian rye. And I picked a nice vermouth, sweet vermouth. And then you put in some bitters. Like I like some aromatic bitters, and you kind of just shake it up over ice and then pour it into some glasses. And I'm going through a kitchen remodel, so I have to cook everything outside. So we're at our outdoor grill, and I'm going to pour this into wine glasses or little like juice glasses because we don't have all our martini and everything kind of cocktail glasses.
Love it.
What are you making, Jackie? Are you making something?
I who brought this up.
So wait, me? It's me, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something simple. I have this Mount Gay rum, and I'm just gonna pour it over some ice. And you know what? I have friends that like measure out the shots. I just eyeball it. I usually like 1/3 of the glass alcohol, and then 2/3 of it, whatever the mixer is. And I'm not a big fan of drinking soda, but whenever I'm drinking alcohol, it's kind of like the best thing to mix with it. So I just have some Coca-Cola here. So I'm just going to pour that in. And there you go. Have a cocktail. I'm
Right
ready.
on.
Oh. So fancy.
I know, right? It's like I'm at Renegades again.
Always with your go-to whiskey Coke. or
Usually,
whatever.
usually it's whiskey, but I don't have any whiskey right now. I have rum, so I'll settle.
Improvise.
I need a straw.
Well, I have something a little bit different. So my coworker, he has this. He won't say he's his boyfriend, but he spends every weekend there. He came to like Christmas and Thanksgiving, so it's his not boyfriend. Who's a bartender who makes this infused mezcal. So this is mezcal that's infused with lemon and lavender. And there's this whole thing that he does. He's like actually a little bit of a scientist, and it's supposed to like have this perfect enzyme that makes it purple. So it's really
Not only is it tasty, it's pretty too.
yeah, exactly. And he said you just put it over ice with some lemon and you're done.
That sounds wonderful. You'll have to share that product with us because that sounds like something I'd like to try.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's so good.
What is the brand?
His little label here says Maya Dominante.
Okay, Maya Dominante. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Maya Dominante.
That totally sounds like a drag name. His drag name, right?
Absolutely. And hello, Russell Steven. We can see your comment. I see you.
Yeah, we see you, girl. Don't worry. We're just. It's very small text. My eyesight's bad.
Lashes. I can make a gazillion excuses.
There's glitter in my eyes.
The lighting from Brian's place.
Ah! I know I'm red. And like, yeah, I'm red from the light. Yeah.
It's from the light.
Yeah, from the light. Not from the alcohol. Not because it's 42 degrees outside. Like, yeah, I'm red.
I mean, at least you're outside and staying dry, honey, because it's been so fucking wet. I can't stand it.
Did you see there's flood warnings for San Jose again?
Mm-hmm. What parts?
You know, just spread my legs and open up the floodgate.
Goodbye.
Well, should we get started cooking?
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll go first, and then I think we'll cut to Alpha. Yeah, and then we'll cut to Jackie and back to Alpha, or now all of us. Okay.
Me.
Sounds good.
Okay. Cool, Saldi. Let's take it away. I'll start. Bye, guys, or girls, or both. Great. So, Mister, do you want to help zoom in, and I'll get started on my herb butter. So what you see here is kind of I chopped some parsley, about a tablespoon of parsley. I lightly chopped up some thyme. You don't really have to chop up thyme because it's really small. You can see how like small it is. And you just kind of pull it off of the little vines or whatever it grows on. And then you just do a rough chop on it. And then this is minced up garlic. And then I added a little bit of lemon juice and also some lemon zest. And instead of using like a microplane and grating it off, I kind of peeled it off and then chopped it up in a rough mince. And then, so basically the lemon juice is already in there. What you do is you take some room temperature butter, and you got to make sure that it's not like melty, but also not hard. And you basically mash it into your herbs. And what this does is it will make a nice kind of like buttery sauce on your steak. And I think it's good to use on a steak that is maybe not too fatty. Like this steak here is not very fatty. You can tell it's not very fatty. And so you mash that up. And before I start mashing it up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish dressing my steak. And, you know, I'm grilling my steak. So I'm putting a lot of salt on the steak. All the TV chefs that I watch talk about really salting your meat a lot. Everyone likes a salty piece of meat, I guess, but really, especially when you're grilling, a lot of that seasoning falls off into the grill. So you can almost never, I think, salt too much to begin with. After you've cooked it, you can definitely salt too much. Salt, pepper, and some Italian red pepper flakes, nothing too fancy. And then just slap it on the grill. I'm going to slap it on the grill. Then we'll come back to my herb butter. And here, let me grab these tongs. I'll put that down really quickly. And you know what? I think I will throw a little bit more salt and pepper on my steaks on that side. I don't know if there's quite enough, so I'm going to just salt it a little more, just a tiny bit more. And I'm going to put the red pepper flakes on this one because they kind of got stuck to the plate. And I'm going to pepper it. I'm also going to kick the temperature up really high because my goal would be to try to get this done in about 4 minutes. These are 8-ounce steaks each. And if I can get this to go back up to about between 400 and 500 degrees, it will cook in about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. So I'm going to tell Siri, see if Siri will do this for me. Siri, set a 4-minute timer. Good. Okay. Siri is listening to me tonight. I'm going to do a 4-minute timer just to kind of remind me to go back and check on my steak while I'm mashing up my herb butter. So let's zoom in here. Oh my gosh, that is very. So I had to do this earlier because I made a log, an herb butter log earlier. So what I kind of had to do was I had to zap it for about 5 seconds in the microwave. So I'm going to stick it in there for about 5 seconds, just enough to loosen it, but I don't want it to turn into melted. Okay, maybe 2 more seconds. There we go. And obviously, if you had like a hand blender, maybe you could do that. Or maybe a fork would be a better option for mixing this up. I'm not sure if a fork would do better, but you know what? The spoon's finally starting to get in there. And the nice thing about an herb butter is that it kind of creates a sauce when you don't have a pan to create the sauce in, or you don't have the time to deglaze it. Like, I think an herb butter is really great for grilling a steak. If you're frying it in a skillet, you might want to just make the sauce in the pan. Another good accompaniment for steak or anything that you grill besides an herb butter is a chimichurri sauce. I've made chimichurri sauce before in a previous show. I didn't make it for this show for the steaks that I'm making this time around. But see how like the different ingredients are finally starting to incorporate into the butter. You just keep on stirring the butter and stirring the butter and stirring the butter. And then when it looks like it's mixed enough for you, which I think that's kind of mixed enough. See, it's pretty well distributed through there. What you do is you get some foil and you put it on some foil and you kind of shape it into a log on your foil. Then you put it in the refrigerator and you let it harden. I did this earlier so that we would have something to work with, because this might not be hard by the time I want to serve my steaks, which will be pretty soon, the steaks. So as you can tell, it's just me and my husband at home. So the way I'm handling the food is probably not super COVID safe and super restaurant safe, but we're home cooks, right? Most of us home cooking if we're not door dashing food or getting pizza. So let's put that there. I kind of used my spatula to scrape it out so I didn't miss any of the good stuff. Maybe just kind of play with it a little bit. Kind of want to have it formed into a log. And once it's kind of formed into a log, you roll it up. And you see it turns into a little log, right? You saw me roll it up into a little log. I put it in my fridge here. But earlier, I had done one earlier, and it's ready to go, and it's hard. You can tell it's hard. It's, I don't know, maybe 4 inches long. It's about the size of a stick of butter. And it's just pretty much ready to go. And I think my steaks are probably close to ready to go, to be flipped. It's been 4 minutes. I'm repeating the timer. Actually, I think I can, let me see if they release. Will they release? Okay. See, that's not really cooked a whole lot. See, that's not very dark. So I'm going to put it back down maybe and let it sear just a little bit more. One thing that I wanted to point out that I'm doing to accompany the steak for me, since I can't eat in person with Alpha and Jackie, is I'm making a roast fingerling potatoes on the grill. That's something you can do if you have some backyard friends that you hang out with or a social pod and you want to keep it lower risk. Try eating outside. If you have a grill, you can grill a lot. I've made souffles on the grill. I've made egg scrambles on the grill. We've had fried up a whole bunch of breakfast meat on the grill. You can do a lot on the grill. And then, you know, getting a big piece of meat like arrachera or flat meat or tri-tip or whatever, and then grilling a bunch of vegetables. It's so easy to entertain outside, even when it's kind of cold. Not so great when it's raining. Postpone it for a night when it's just cold and you can bundle up. But what I had done earlier is before the show started, I kind of made these little pockets of food, and one of them were shishito peppers. They were shishito peppers, and instead of grilling them or frying them on a skillet, I just decided to grill them in a little pocket of foil. And I think I'll throw those back on the grill just to let them warm up a little bit more. And then I made some potatoes, and the potatoes are ready to go. Like, aren't those beautiful? They are going to be so freaking good. And you know what? The herb butter tastes good on these too. Smash them up, put some sour cream on them as well. Lots of things if you just get creative. I think when you can't cook in a normal kitchen, get creative. Get creative with your grill. Get creative with your friend's grill. Like, whatever. Don't let the lack of an oven or a perfect kitchen stop you from cooking. So let me look on my steaks one more time. Hopefully, yeah, these are good enough to flip over. That's good enough. And this one, I think, is in a hotter part of the grill, so I'm going to move that one over. But see how that one's a little bit darker seared, and that one's less of a dark sear? I think what I'll do is I'll do that. That'll probably make it hotter. And it is 7:20. So why don't we check in with Alpha and let her prep? And then while that's cooking, I'll let that finish cooking, and then I might just end up plating my steak and starting to eat it because I'm starting to get hungry. So Saldi, do you want to cut to Alpha and see what she's up to? Hey, girl.
Hi. I am going to start this asparagus because the whole idea we had was you do your big mistake, and I'll do a side, and Jackie's going to do a side to go with that also. Mm-hmm. So, without any further ado, let's get to this asparagus.
Yes. Hopefully you won't have a big mistake like me. Are you serving us some fungus as well?
Yes, definitely. So, along with the asparagus that I'm making to pair with Bryan's steak, I'm making myself a mushroom pasta because I haven't had dinner yet. So I have some mushrooms going, just regular button mushrooms, but I also have these funky tree oyster mushrooms that my parents grew. They're going to be so good. I chopped a lot of them, like a lot of them. Mm-hmm. And they've been simmering for a while now. That's one thing that I think a lot of people don't know about mushrooms. They can handle a lot of heat. and they actually brown out really nicely. So you can just kind of like leave it there and forget about it while you do other things. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But let's do this asparagus. Honey, store your asparagus in a little bit of water in a cup. It'll last so much longer. It's just game-changing little tip. Also,
Wow.
When you're prepping your asparagus, don't worry about chopping off the ends or anything. Just use it where it breaks. I know it looks like you got rid of a lot of asparagus, but you don't need that in your life. Cut it out like a toxic egg. So we're just gonna do the last couple snappy bits of asparagus. Get rid of all of those. Boom. And I have a lot of it prepped already here on my pan. And all you really need is really simple little things. I drizzle some olive oil on. Be pretty liberal with some salt because this is roasting at a really high heat. So a lot of it's going to cook out again, similar to Bryan's steak situation. You need to salt heavier, I promise. Where is my pepper? Sorry, don't look at my really messy cabinet. It's gross in there. We're doing a whole lot of pepper because I really want this to be really peppery, especially if we're serving it with steak. Just something nice to cut across that. And then I want this to be kind of garlicky, but garlic will burn at a really high heat. We're roasting at 425. I'm already preheated to that, by the way. So instead of using fresh garlic, I'm cheating and using garlic granules, not garlic powder, garlic granules. But this will actually cook well at a high heat instead of other garlic, which will just, like fresh garlic, which will just burn and be really bitter and not that delicious. So just gonna toss this together. Beautiful. It should look like this. It's asparagus. Wow. So that's going in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes at 425. And then I'm going to finish the rest of my pasta because, again, I'm hungry. But otherwise, I'd like to see what's up with Jackie and her potato situation.
Hello.
How's your potato situation?
So my potato situation is going pretty well. I've actually already, my potatoes are ready to be mashed. So I'm gonna kind of start at the beginning. I'm making a garlic mashed potato, steakhouse style. So, you know, very full of like fat and just hearty and whatnot. But I actually started with boiling 6 cups of vegetable stock. You can use chicken stock, but for this one, I'm actually doing a vegan recipe. I like substituting vegan options when I can, try to consume a little bit less meat and animal products. And I used red potatoes. I bought a 5-pound bag. I used about 4 pounds, but you want to cut these into like 1-inch like cubes or pieces. But I finished boiling. They've been sitting in this bowl. There we go. I don't know. You don't need to see my face. So I have these in here. I actually threw in 10 cloves of garlic as well into the pot with the potatoes. So there's garlic in here. There's red potatoes with the skins on. You want to leave the skins because it gives it lots of flavor. For this recipe, we're going to use 1 stick of plant-based butter. And I chopped it into little squares so it's easier to melt. I have here a 1/2 cup of gluten-free heavy cream. You can pour that over here as well. And then I have 4 ounces of a dairy-free cream cheese from Daya. So this is 8 ounces, so I'm just gonna cut this in half. It definitely is not as, it's a different texture than regular cream cheese, but it's okay. My hands are clean. Don't worry about it. Now that I have all those in there, I'm going to take my potato masher, which is right here. Then I'm just going to start mashing away at this. It sounds gross, but I'm going to keep going.
That's what good pussy sounds like.
I wouldn't know.
I didn't know I was on. Hi.
Is this a family-friendly show? I'm not sure.
Not necessarily.
Okay, this is what good pussy sounds like. Your potatoes don't sound like good pussy. It's not moist enough.
Can they sound like good man pussy?
Goodbye. To all our viewers, I'm so sorry. You know what? This is actually going to be done a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. I like my potatoes kind of, oops, let me put this back a little bit. I like my potatoes kind of more on the chunky side. I don't like them being super soft and like runny, I guess.
No, same. I know Ina Garten's all like, I like a fine pureed potato. I hate a fine pureed potato. Chunky like that is.
Yeah, give me a little bit of heft or texture in my mashed potato. Yeah.
Give me a little bit of cushion for the push-in.
When you're pushing, you want some cushion. Yes.
Exactly. Make it a little chunky. We don't want these potatoes to be slim and no body whatsoever.
Yada, 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 yada.
By the way, I love how, like, watching Bryan cook, we see, like, his breath coming out because it's so damn cold out there. And meanwhile, I'm over here sweating because it's fucking hot in my kitchen. And I'm actually going to finish them off with a little bit of chopped green onion just for color and presentation. Because you know what? If you're doing drag, you're not doing drag if you're not presenting your food in a desirable way.
You're not doing drag if you don't have rancid breath.
There you go. Well, but now my potatoes are done. I have pork chops cooking right now on the stove. They're almost done. And then I have asparagus in the air fryer, which actually I need to flip right now. So I'm going to get off camera just for a moment just to go flip my asparagus. And then I guess we'll come back to Bryan for...
Sure.
I don't know.
Mine's ready. Mine's ready.
Yours is ready.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. Zoom in, Saldi, zoom in with the iPhone. Yeah, you can make that one the big one. See, this is my herb butter on the New York strip, and this is the herb butter on the New York strip. Roasted fingerling potatoes on the grill and roasted or fried shishito peppers. You know, and I think another fun option for this would be a quick and easy salad is always like tomatoes. Right now, the tomatoes are like from Mexico or the desert. But, you know, if you squeeze your tomatoes, and I'm just taking a picture for Instagram of the steak. Sorry, let me get the laptop out of the way. But I think if you squeeze your tomatoes, you can, if you squeeze your tomatoes, you can figure out which ones are good. And then, you know, when you're buying the... Squeeze. Are they good, Alpha? Are they good?
Leaking.
You're squeezing too hard. But really, like, you squeeze your tomatoes. You don't want them to look mushy. You don't want them to look green. You don't want them to be too firm, because then they might not ripen up. But if they're kind of red, especially if they're like from the desert or from Mexico, if they're kind of red and they're not too soft and they're not too hard and they're kind of red, if you let them sit out at room temperature in your room, never store your tomatoes in the refrigerator, store them room temperature, and then eat them. They kind of come along, right? They're not as good as your summer tomatoes from your backyard or from your porch or from your pot that you're growing on your balcony or wherever, but they're decent. So you just got, and then if you can't find the bigger tomatoes that are imported, buy cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are always a safe bet. They're always good. But that's a quick like salad. Just chop it up, salt, pepper, olive oil, a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar. Boom, there you go. Add some fresh herbs. Add some mixed greens or arugula on top. Add some feta cheese. Like it's really, really, really easy. But I'm kind of getting hungry, so I think we're going to start digging into our steaks. And I know Jean-Marie, my husband, my candy man's been kind of hungry. So here, I'm going to give you the bigger piece of meat.
Yeah,
Mister, I'm going to give you a big piece of meat. See?
You're giving him a big mistake is what you're giving him.
I'm giving him a huge fucking mistake, and I hope you like it. I hope you appreciate it. Learn from my mistakes. Learn from our mistakes.
By the way, I just noticed you're wearing an Alpha Andromeda sweater.
You just noticed?
I wasn't looking at him the whole time, okay? I was paying attention to my food. Listen, you know, I need to turn off the stove.
Oh, there you go.
Jackie,
I'm tipsy, okay?
So much for paying attention to your food, Jacqueline.
Jackie, do you have merchandise that we could buy?
I have stickers.
Stickers. When am I going to have your lovely face on a sweatshirt or a tank top or
one of these days soon? I will be on a sweater or a tank top. I think a tank top would be my preference because I'd actually wear a tank top.
Yeah, that's my style.
But I've been perfecting my makeup and like changing things up a little bit. So once I get that like settled where I want to be, then we'll go with the merch.
Right on.
Your face tonight. It looks really good.
Thank you. I heard something new with my eyes.
That's good.
Very
That's
like
good.
a vivid lid.
No, yeah, I'm very into that. Chef's kiss, you could say.
Do you want to see how pink my meat is?
Do you go on the stream and talk loud on Twitch?
Let me see that meat, Brian.
Ooh.
Here, let me see if I can get a better angle. Oh,
I love that.
there we go.
Make sure it's a good angle so it looks big.
You don't see that often. You can say it's a rare find.
I can barely fit it in my mouth. Oh my God. Wow.
Wow, we are disgusting. But I love us.
It's a mess, Aldi. You don't have to show this anymore.
By the way, with the, like I said, I boiled my potatoes in vegetable stock because it gives it more flavor. You can do it in chicken stock, but you can save that. You don't have to just pour it on the drain. You can save it and make a gravy out of it for your potatoes. So I didn't do that tonight because I am not that kind of girl. But keep that in mind. Don't waste it. But now I'm plating my food for my roommates first because I am a good Christian woman.
Good for you.
And they're getting a big ass pork chop.
Did you get that from the pork chop loading dock?
Oh my God. I am behind. I haven't watched this past Fridays yet, but I love the way that started. Like you're like, what the fuck? They're cutting off half.
You know,
cutting off half.
Part of me, like, I like it because you get to meet the other queens before anyone goes home. But also, I'm kind of like, send someone home already. Let's go. Come on.
I want to see carnage. I want to see crying, please.
So what I think would be really cool is if instead of sending queens home each week, they had a fucking scorecard. And so you score points every week. And it kind of like, you know, throughout the season, you get to go and actually show off all the outfits that you paid for. But then you kind of have like a clear, like at this point in the game, if you don't have this many points, you're eliminated.
Like a horse race.
Huh?
Almost like a horse race, but
who has a horse race?
Horse face. I wouldn't know because I'm not that white. I don't know what horse races are. Never been to a derby.
I went to it once in San Mateo for a company outing, and it was boring. I ate hot dogs and dollar Cokes the whole day, or dollar Budweisers the whole day. It's terrible.
That's what I do at Costco all the time.
I mean, I've had dollar Coke inside the splash bathroom, but I'm
the
told
good old days.
For legal reasons, that was a joke. Really, that was a joke. I don't do Coke.
No.
You can't find good Coke for $1.
Mm.
I'm just
Alpha, how are you coming along?
Swimmingly.
Yeah.
Just throwing my pasta in. My asparagus needs a little bit more time, but my sauce is doing quite nicely. I'm gonna turn the heat down on that a little. But yeah, we're good here.
What kind of pasta are you using?
So it's another funky one. Let me see if I can find. I found it at Trader Joe's. Mm-hmm. I don't remember what it's called. It's Matini, a chukita. We'll call it Patini.
Poutini.
But it's this little like trumpet fluted weird shape thing. I've gotten it a couple times now because it actually holds sauce really well.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of pasta was it?
I don't fucking know. Look at this.
What did you call it though?
Catini.
Oh, a catini. Oh, I was gonna make a catini P. Vanden joke, but you already did.
Yeah.
Damn. Before I go serve my roommates, can we zoom in real quick on this, like, this plate?
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at this. This is asparagus, potatoes, pork loin. These were done in the air fryer. Honestly, the air fryer's become like my new like favorite obsession. It's so easy to just like throw something in there and fry it and actually not feel guilty about eating it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and thank
one of those people. Everyone's making like jokes and posting hella memes about like the age you get to when you start pushing air fryers on people.
You know, for Christmas I asked for kitchen gadgets, and that's how I know that I'm an adult. I didn't ask for money. I didn't ask for shoes or whatnot. I asked for stuff for the kitchen.
No, same, honey. Like, I have a pressure cooker now.
Oh, I'm jealous.
I know. I can feel the pressure. No, really, I like don't know what to do with it, but I have a pressure cooker now and a food processor.
I'll be back.
Some of my friends have made beans like really quickly with one of those fancy new pressure cookers, I think, because they don't have to like soak the beans. And one of my friends, I'm thinking an Instapot, not a pressure cooker. I'm thinking an Instapot. Sorry.
I mean, it's the same thing, just branding.
But like my friend used an Instapot to cook a turkey breast in 30 minutes or something crazy like that for Thanksgiving. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? 30-minute turkey breast?
Just the breast?
Just the breast, yeah.
What about the breast of it?
But you know, honestly, I could go on a tirade about how I don't like turkey. I really don't like turkey, and I have anecdotal proof that other people don't like turkey. They like looking at a pretty turkey, but they don't want to fucking eat it. And I remember 2 or 3 years ago, I told everyone, you know, we have the family group text chat going when we could get together with our extended family for Thanksgiving. I told everyone that, like, I don't think I want to make a turkey. I think I want to do tri-tip and some pork ribs and, you know, different things. And my tia Lyndon, my tia Rosie, and my tia Patty were like, no, you can't do that. We have to have turkey. It's not turkey if you don't have Thanksgiving. And I'm like, but dude, like, no one eats it. And they're like, I want a turkey. So I made a fucking 20-pound turkey.
Oh.
But because we had about 24 people over, so I was like, it has to be a big turkey. But then I thought, you know, I'm going to make 2 or 3 tri-tips. So I made 2 tri-tips and a thing of spare ribs. The tri-tips disappeared. Half the pork ribs disappeared. And I still had most of a breast and most of 2 legs. And like, no one ate the turkey. And then so 2 years later, after a whole carcass not being eaten of turkey, and I can't give the shit away, I'm like, maybe I'll just do a breast. So then I did a breast. I did 3 tri-tips and some pulled pork. And again, tri-tip disappeared. Half the pulled pork was eaten. About half the breast was eaten. I think people like the gravy and like looking at a golden bird, but they don't necessarily want to eat the turkey meat. You know, it's not very good, in my opinion. But whatever.
I'm not a big fan of like the white meat. I like the dark meat of the turkey.
I don't like any of the turkey meat, but go ahead.
like the dark meat is more moist and like just easier to chew. I feel like the white meat is so dry.
You know what I do to battle the dryness?
Mm-hmm.
One, you put I've just bought turkey breasts because like it's smaller. So I bought the turkey breast. I cooked the turkey breast on a bed of root vegetables like onions and garlic and a couple carrots. About a bottle of Chardonnay. Start with half a bottle, and then as you're cooking, if it starts to dehydrate, add more Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
And then rub your breast in butter. Rub your turkey breast in butter. Go underneath the skin, rub like kind of like an herb butter, like what I made. Rub the herb butter under there. If you want to use butter, use olive oil and salt.
Hold on, I'm taking notes.
That really helps. And then as you're cooking, if you just cook the breast, the nice thing about just cooking the breast is that the breast doesn't dry out as much if you're just cooking the breast. So I would say go for the breast if you have people who don't really eat the whole fucking turkey and won't take it home, but they still want a turkey and gravy.
Okay, so I'll remember that next time that I'm putting my breasts in to make sure to butter underneath them and like massage them and lube them up essentially.
And salt. You have to have salty breast, Jackie.
I do my right breast. Let me do my left breast.
Real quick.
Uh-huh.
No, I finished my asparagus.
Ooh.
So I rarely cook with a plan, but I just threw some, what is that? Parmesan on there. So there's Parmesan. I had a lemon. We zested some lemon and squeezed a little juice on there. Yeah, this is it.
Oh, this is so good.
I'm so excited for that. Honestly, though, I'm probably going to take that, chop it up, and throw it into my pasta. So.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Honestly, this is the first time I've ever made these kind of potatoes. I would eat these for like every day.
Mm.
There's so much flavor and like richness to it.
I've been forced to grill all my food, and baking a potato on the grill is actually quite good. You have to flip it so it doesn't burn, but it comes out so nice. A roasted potato has such a good flavor, or a baked whole potato has such a good flavor. And I forgot how good a baked potato and sour cream are, and then you go crazy if you want. Add cheese, add bacon, add chopped jalapenos, chopped green onions, like whatever you feel like throwing on top. God, potatoes are heaven.
I've never been a big fan of baked potatoes. Like I love all other forms of potato. You know, scalloped potatoes, hash browns, fries, chips, you name it. Never liked baked potatoes, but I feel like maybe if you cooked them, because what you're describing right now sounds delicious, maybe I would like it.
I'll cook for you sometime, Jackie.
Okay, as long as we can see the inside. So after the pandemic, because I don't want to be my breath be coming out like that. I don't want to be able to see that on the camera.
You don't want to be one of my backyard friends?
Maybe your backdoor friend.
Well, I'd have to be at your back door, but
should I move here? Am I in the way?
No, I would love that though. We should get together once we get all vaccinated and stuff. We should get together and have an actual like dinner event.
Maybe we could cook and eat in front of maybe it could be a live cooking show, and then we make a big meal for everyone who's participating in the audience. Well, maybe we have to put a limit on how many meals we'll make, but we could do a drag grill out, and I'd love to participate.
It could be something. Well, I wouldn't want to do something where like people pay for it and then the
no
horrible.
No.
But I would love to do a cook-off against Alpha.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've done cook-offs in the past where it was like Woo Woo against Alina, and then last year Alpha against Alina.
Girl, I lost hard. I made those burgers terrible.
I remember getting one of those burgers and the middle was still red.
Yeah.
I remember I took a bite and I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
That's the thing is, you try actually cooking on the little cooktop thing, whatever it is, the little Bunsen burner shit.
It wasn't hot enough.
That, along with actually entertaining people.
Mm.
Right, because you can't just sit there and cook. You actually have to, like, you know, play it up and be campy and shit while you're actually trying to cook. It also didn't help that Alina had her husband assisting her, and you were by yourself the entire time. I was like,
if you look back at the pictures, you know how nervous I was because I was sweating because my wig starts here in all the intro pictures and it ends back here.
Next time you got to bring Sam along and make him be your like sous chef bitch, you know, helping you out.
Or we just bring other queens or kings to help us. It's a team cooking thing. It's almost like kitchen nightmare. It's kitchen nightmares.
Kitchen nightmares, yes.
Actual nightmare.
No, really, you and me in a kitchen together is a nightmare.
And Bryan, you could be Gordon Ramsay just screaming at us the entire time.
You suck! You suck!
This is fucking raw!
I'm gonna get the shits if I eat this crap. Fucking A. I don't know. You know, he's too aggro. I can't watch him. He makes me like, I'm like, oh, you make me think of every toxic man that I've like had to deal with like growing up. I don't want to listen to you, but I can't watch.
If you watch like his cooking show, like actually like him cooking in his home kitchen, he's peaceful. He's talking about cooking for his kids, and I'm like, who is this man?
Or his cooking show with the children.
Yeah.
They're competing. He's so nice in there. And he's like, it's okay. We can start over. You can still do this. And like encouraging them. And I'm like, on the adult shows, he's like, fuck you. You're an idiot sandwich. Blah, 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 blah. What the fuck is this? You know?
Yeah, he's a little bit rough for me, but like, I'm sure it would have been cute with the kids, right? You can't be mean to kids.
Oh, I can be mean to kids. I'll do it. I'll push a 6-year-old.
Can you imagine though? Like, I can't cook as good as those 6-year-olds competing against like 6 and 7-year-olds, like, and your dish is turning out shit compared to them. I'd be so upset.
What about if you're the 9 or 10-year-old and the 6-year-old beating you? Because that could happen too.
I think it'd be more embarrassing if I'm an adult. If I'm
I know, right?
6-year-old outcooking me. There are 6-year-olds that can outcook me.
Let's not cook with minors. Let's like cook with like 21 and over. You have to be able to buy us a drink. Then if we lose to you, it doesn't suck so bad.
I feel like our generation can't cook though. Like 21, like millennials, like we weren't forced to help out in the kitchen. We were getting participation trophies to play soccer and stuff.
Well, I think I'm Gen X. I'm a little bit older than you two, and I was a latchkey kid. So like I had to like walk home from school, walk to school, walk home from school, through snow, up hills. No, it doesn't snow in Watsonville, but like I literally had to walk home and cook, you know, and I had to make my breakfast. So that's kind of how I learned to cook, being a latchkey kid.
Oh no, fully same. Like I grew up very much like I was an only child, and my parents cooked a lot, so I actually helped out a lot, which was a really cool sort of link for me to my parents, because like having my mom teach me how to like wrap wonton when I was little, and a lot of things like that, I learned a lot in the kitchen, and now I'm really comfortable, and I'm really at peace at the end of the day when I can just like chop onions. It's really weird. I love like don't take this as a soundbite, but I love cutting things. Truly, I love like chopping vegetables. It's something very rhythmic and calming about cooking. Also, to answer Linda, yes, I added lemon and Parmesan to my pasta, which is probably going to dish up right about now.
So, I didn't grow up. I'm the oldest of 3. I'm the most fabulous one of them. But my parents basically were not college educated. They didn't have like, high paying jobs or anything. And it was expensive having multiple kids. So, we come home from school and my parents would be at work until like 5, 6 o'clock. And so it'd just be us at home alone or with our grandparents or whatever. And then my parents would come home and usually it'd be fast food for most nights of the week, And we get like, school lunch, we get cereal in the morning for breakfast. We didn't really have much opportunity to like help cook much. I know like, when my dad was cooking when he got home, he didn't really have the patience to, you know, have the kids in the kitchen with him, helping him cook anything. So we weren't really taught how to do much in the kitchen as kids. I think the most I got to do is like my grandparents' house. It'd be like, throw the pasta in the water, here, stir it. Like, you know, getting those opportunities every once in a while. But yeah, I didn't really have much experience doing that. And then obviously too, like, I don't know. I don't say we're very Americanized. Like, you know, I'm half Mexican, half German, but my parents don't really have strong ties to either of the cultures. So, you know, I didn't really get to learn how to, like, you know, make, you know, wrap enchiladas or make tamales at Christmas and stuff like that. Like, it was just American food. It was steamed vegetables and sauteed meat, like box or something.
It's interesting you say that, Jeremy. I'm half Mexican too. That's where my last name Rodriguez comes from. He's a lighter skinned Mexican, and my mother is like white, Scotch Irish white, and my dad was a butcher. He could take a whole pig that one of his friends like shot hunting out, you know, in the country somewhere, and turn it into chops. And in fact, one day I remember I was in high school and it was U.S. history, and I was doing this weird research project on actually Henry VIII times, like 14th century time, and they were talking about how salt was precious commodity, and if you're higher royalty or whatever, you would sit closer to the salt. And one of the things they'd cook was a boar's head, a pig's head. So my dad just kind of was like luck. My dad's compadre's son went out hunting and they got a boar, and then my dad went over to their house and butchered it for them. And I was like, can I have the head, and will Susie, his comadre, like cook it for me, and then I'll set a table 14th century style. And that was kind of fun because my grandma drove over the roast pig's head, and then I set up a table and pulled off, you know, the cover, and it was like underneath the aluminum foil was a pig's head. So that was kind of like fucking awesome in U.S. history to do that. But I get it. That's why I say latchkey kid, because like my parents were divorced, and so a lot of times when I got home from school, if I wanted to eat, I was cooking for myself because my mom was a preschool teacher and she was a waitress at night, and like sometimes you're just kind of forced to cook for yourself if someone's not there to cook for you. So, and then I was an only, so like I guess that's why I got a little more like kitchen time. And it was one of the things my mother let me do when it was just me and her, and before I got my stepsisters and my stepfather. It was like I could pretty much cook whatever, do whatever I could find in the closet, as long as I wasn't wasting. So
yeah,
it was an escape for me. I think cooking was an escape for me.
A big mistake.
A big mistake.
Not a mistake, an escape.
An escape.
Oh, escape. Welcome to Cooking with Pride, where we're unpacking our childhood through food.
Our childhood trauma.
Unpacking with Jaculation and Bryan. Alf is our moderator right now.
Usually I'm packing, but I'm going to keep drinking. I actually finished my food already. That was a big, so I didn't have a big mistake, but I had a big pork chop.
This is my last bite of meal. Is yours done yet, Alpha?
Oh, I've been eating it.
Even less.
Oh, no.
I didn't, but I finished it with more parm. I chopped up the asparagus and kind of tossed it in. It's cooked perfectly. It's nice and roasty. But yeah, chopped it off with more parm, some pepper, and some lemon juice. And it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You always make such good food. I'm so jealous.
Mm-hmm.
I make good food, but after, like, once I got out of the dorms, I was very much on my own, but very much the parent type to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I cooked so much for everyone that I know how to cook a lot of things, and I can cook them really cheap. So this meal altogether, I mean, it's just pasta, lemon, some cheese, and whatever veggies you have on hand.
Mm-hmm.
Easily.
Nothing. It costs nothing. It's crazy. Even if you just buy beef, like I shop mostly at Grocery Outlet. I live downtown, and that's like the closest place for me to shop at.
The one on Santa Clara?
Huh?
The one on Santa Clara?
Yeah.
Next to City Hall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can get some good deals there. Like I bought a pound and a half of tri-tip up to almost 2 pounds for like $12. And I bought like the 2 steaks that I got a pound of meat for about $12. They were New York strip steaks. And potatoes. Like if you're gonna feed a family or feed friends, you could go to any grocery store really, but you can go to a grocery store that isn't Whole Foods and feed 4 or 5 people for, I don't know, $50 easy, not including wine or anything. And they could be eating steak and potatoes and as many vegetables as you want. And like if you have your basics like spices and salts and oil and eggs or whatever, you could take it whatever direction you want. But like entertaining is very economical. And that's one thing that I've noticed with me and Jean-Marie. We have a few households in our neighborhood. There's a lot of LGBTQ neighbors that we live next to. And there's like two houses that we've been like backyard friends with. And we've been eating very well, but we've not been spending a lot of money because we've been shopping and like cooking for each other. So
I love that. Like I would love to like, because all the times when I cook, it's hard to cook for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 people. Like you usually make like the stuff that the portions that everything comes out of is like, for 4, 5, 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy just to have somebody else to like share that with,
Yeah, it is. It's kind of like a blessing in a weird way. And I think we've been fortunate just having neighbors that we like and liked before the pandemic, and some neighbors that we were hanging out with the weekend before they said shelter in place. It was kind of weird. It was like, okay, we hung out for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No one got sick. We still weren't sick. So it's like, well, maybe we can do backyard visits and, like kind of just hug and kiss and, not be normal, but have a little bit of normalcy. So I'm hoping that lasts. I'm hoping we can all keep each other safe until we get vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, they just opened up, I think, for 65 plus for vaccines. So you should be close to getting yours, right, Bryan?
Fuck you. Fuck you. Dry with a horse dick. Fuck you.
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
How long are you doing that?
I literally just thought about it right now. I was like, I want to get my vaccine, but I'm not. I don't have medical conditions. I'm not a healthcare worker. I'm not 65 plus. I don't look 65 plus.
Debatable.
Girl, where?
Okay. I'm kidding. Alpha's not kidding. Okay.
From the waist down.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. Oh, this is fun, and I'm drinking still.
Cheers. Oh my God. One of my friends one of my neighbors, she always says, cheers, queers. So let me give myself some wine first before I say this. And give yourself some wine. Wine up, girls. Wine up.
Wine up. Wine up. Oh, yeah.
Wine up. Oh my God, my head went there. Wine up. Oh yeah.
Wait, is that a song?
Huh?
Is that an actual song?
Yes. Wind up. It's Cat DeLuna, right?
Wind up. I used to wine up.
Yeah, it's wine up.
Oh.
But I mean, like wine, not wine.
Got it. I was gonna say that should be your single, Alpha. Wine up. You can write.
Oh, but I was gonna say, cheers, queers.
Oh, yes.
Cheers, queers, and up your bum with a bucket of cum.
Not again.
South really quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. We're on prep.
It's okay. We're on prep. Yes.
Vaccinated, on prep, private island, everyone tested.
What did Eric?
We're going to need antibiotics, not for COVID-related symptoms. For other symptoms.
No, for my foot fungus.
For foot fungus, exactly. Yeah, not the mushrooms Alpha's been growing, but like.
Yeah. Truth be told, I'm actually barefoot right now in my kitchen.
That's awesome.
Barefoot. I don't have underwear on. I'm comfortable inside the house.
Maybe too
Well,
comfortable.
I'm
No
freezing outside.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans to see.
Good.
I'll pay not to subscribe.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I don't have one.
Well, you know that there could be a market for that. Like maybe you have a camera just focused on your ankles down, and who knows what you're stepping on in your kitchen.
Sell some feet pics. I want to see it.
If you guys find me the people who will actually pay for feet pics, I will gladly sell feet pics. There's no
I've been told that I have nice feet by a foot person. So
who?
a person who's into feet. Here I am talking about like, oh, the foot person here in my household.
And you know what? I have the hookups for pedicures. So if we want to get into that market,
Why are we doing this?
also, we can be foot sisters. Can you imagine? Just like, you know how like we do this with our hands? Just do that with our toes.
Do you have tingers? Do you have tingers?
Huh?
Toe fingers, tingers? Do you have tingers?
I
Toe
mean,
fingers, tingers?
they're not that long, but they're not little itty bitty piggies.
They're not that long, but they're not that short either.
I think everyone's tuning out now. They're like, this is disgusting. We're out of here.
Oh God. Okay. Well, you know, maybe that's our cue to say goodbye after we roast everyone out with our fetish talk.
We need to go take feet pics now. What are you done for school?
Wow, Alpha, Jackie, Layshun, thank you so much for cooking with me. I hope we can cook again virtually and or in person. It's going to be a long haul, so it might be virtually a couple more times, but I hope we can cook together, and I look forward to cooking for you in person at some point.
Because I will gladly take cooking for me over cooking with me.
It's like the new Ina Garten book.
Cooking for me. I like, do it, bitch.
It was the book was Cooking for Jeffrey, her husband. This could be Cooking for Jackie.
You know what? I've wanted to start a show called Master Baking with Jackie Layshun.
Oh, yes.
This, but with you on it.
Can you Photoshop me on there, please? Okay, we have ideas.
We come up with the best ideas, but
and we never write them down.
never. So if you're in the chat, please remind us because we'll forget.
Exactly.
Maybe
All
that could be a future cooking show, Master Baking with Jackie Layshun.
There we go.
What's the money shot going to be? You know, what are we really going to show at the end of the show?
My feet next to the
Your feet and a bunch of cookie dough. There you go.
There we go. I'm just gobbling and swallowing cookie dough by the pound.
Oh my goodness. You too. We're so bad. Okay. Well, it was wonderful cooking with you and being naughty with you, and I hope everyone had a good time, and I hope they weren't too offended by our naughty banter.
But if they liked it, they can watch Silicon Valley Pride's virtual drag brunch with us. Not next Sunday, but the Sunday after. It's February 7th. We are the first Sunday of every month, right here on twitch.tv/svpride at noon.
And then don't forget to check out every Saturday, twitch.tv/renegadesbar, where we have some kind of show going on every single Saturday at 8 p.m. In support of Renegades Bar to raise funds to keep it open so that we have a safe space for queer people.
Tip when you watch the Renegades drag show, because there's been it's been a good breeding ground, so to speak. I mean, I'm blanking right now. My God, why am I blanking right now? Rock'em Sakura was like at Renegades all the time. She hosted drag brunch, and you know, she made it to RuPaul's Drag Race, and people that perform there end up RuPaul's Drag Race, Dragula. They start their own thing. They do their own thing. So Yeah, it's a safe, inclusive space for kings, queens, and other kinds of in between. Yes, exactly.
And that's not the only breeding ground it is. Breeding ground for bacteria and for other stuff too.
I thought we were going to stop talking about your feet.
And last thing is, speaking of Renegades and their show, February 13th, the Saturday before Valentine's Day, me and Alpha and our resident DJ Ayumi, please, will be hosting Action and Drama, where we will be doing our emo night, showing off some of our top emo music videos and what have you. And it's sure to be a big mistake, but tune in, it'll be fun. And with that, I'm done. Cheers, queers.
Oh, cheers.
Goodbye.
Chef's
Get us off.